Good morning. I'm Jenny Scanlon, and today is Wednesday, November 11th, and these are our midweek announcements. I'm in for Bob. First, Veterans Day. We begin today with a little history of Veterans Day that Bob has written up for you. So the Office of Public and Intergovernment Affairs gives the history of this day as follows. World War I, known at the time as the Great War, officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28th in 1919. However, fighting ceased 7 weeks earlier with an armistice or temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany, which went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th of 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the war to end all wars. Originally, it was known as Armistice Day, but in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower changed the name to Veterans Day. The day is designed as a celebration to honor Americans' veterans for their patriotism, their love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. We do thank our veterans, and we pray God's blessing upon all of you. We also thank the families of the veterans, many of which are in our own church. My father was in the Air Force as an airplane mechanic in the Korean War. Many of my friends and cousins serve in the National Guard, and they've also been deployed overseas. We also have a list every Sunday in our bulletin of a lot of the kids that I used to teach in Vacation Bible School who are now serving in the military, and we love them and we thank them so much for what they're doing for us. We also thank the families of the veterans who endured the time of separation during these deployments and service. Their sacrifices are real and worthy of honor. So may God bless all of you for your patriotism, your love of country, and your willingness to sacrifice again for the common good. Okay, number 2, we've all been watching the news, and the governor has announced a lockdown 2.0. So last night, the governor had a press conference in which he addressed the surging cases of COVID in Nevada. You know, I talked to my sister in Missouri, and the same thing is happening there. For the next 2 weeks, through Tuesday, November 24th, he asked people to stay at home as much as possible and to not leave your home unless it is necessary. The governor also encouraged community members to limit exposure to people outside their household and utilized curbside services for business as much as possible. So what does that mean for us? Well, let's start with Sundays. There's 2 Sundays during that time period. Pastor Bob is recommending that anyone who is capable of attending by watching the live stream to do so for the next 2 Sundays. If you're watching these midweek announcements, you're able to watch the live stream. And if you need help, call the office and we'll figure out how to help you. So to be clear, we are not shutting the doors of the church at the direction of the government. The worship team will still be here, and the same protocols that we've had will be in place for those who do wish to come to the sanctuary. Masks are mandatory, safe distancing, no fellowship hour, just like we've been doing. However, in order to try to slow the spread and to participate in the larger community in supporting efforts to slow the spread, we would rather voluntarily comply and help for 2 weeks in order to mitigate the likelihood of a more restrictive shutdown right before Christmas. So we're going to be doing the same thing we've been doing. Just if you can stay home if you can. Okay, next is the office. For the next 2 weeks, they're going to be returning to their spring and summer pattern of low activity and presence in the church office. So for those coming into the office, they'll need to be more intentional about wearing your masks at all times. And just give them a call to make sure they're there. For other meetings and rehearsals, be prepared to follow carefully the protocols that have been put in place. Okay, next is fellowship. The most devastating impact of this pandemic on this church has been the inability for fellowship with one another. Folks talk about how they really wish they could come and just hug their friends, and they can't. People are aching for that contact. The isolation, loneliness, and the extended restrictions are taking an enormous toll on people. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually, it can be overwhelming. So we are asking, pleading really, that we work together to build up and encourage one another. Please do not wait for a phone call. You pick up that phone and you call your friends, because they're going to want to hear from you. Call someone to ask how they're doing. Call, text, or email someone to let them know that you are okay or not okay. You are not alone in feeling alone. Pray with each other over the phone. Spend time together on the phone, remembering God's blessings. Spend time together thinking about the things you can do when the pandemic is over, and make goals for those things that you're going to do. If it helps to have that specific goal, make one call or send one email or text each day to a different person in this congregation, sharing a story or thought about when you have experienced God's blessing in your life. And again, pray together. Whether it was a new job, a healing, someone helping you in an unexpected way, whatever. Do that each day, one a day, with a different person for the next 14 days. Imagine the difference that will make. Okay, now one more. Stewardship. We are going to be dedicating pledges on Sunday, November 22nd. If you have already turned in your pledge card, thank you. If you have not, please do so. The theme this year is found in Philippians 1, producing a harvest of righteousness. The agricultural imagery seems appropriate for this season of Thanksgiving. Because of the ongoing restrictions, we are planting with the prayer and your phone calls that faithfulness now will produce a harvest later. And our final part of today's announcements. The Not Swarming Shelter will again be held here at First Presbyterian Church in the Family Life Center, December 1st to 14th. There's going to be a lot of information up here on the top on this one. There's 3 shifts per night. Training information is on the website. To schedule to volunteer, you can email knotscarson@gmail.com or call Molly at 775-350-9511. It reminds me of a song we used to sing a lot, and the chorus was, "For whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me." Well, thank you for tuning in again. Please plan to watch the live stream of worship on Sundays. Hopefully you will see us then, and God bless and take care.